Daredevil. Oh man, Daredevil Born Again is over. It's been a wild ride with many people feeling very different on both ends and all around the board. And it's crazy because with Marvel signaling that this was going to be an overhauled show and be very different than their original first version of it, it kind of became clear that this overhaul maybe wasn't as drastic as we all thought that it might have been. So kind of getting into this show, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was a bad show. I don't think that this was a bad show. I think that the hate that it's getting is a little bit extreme, but if I was playing devil's advocate, I'd have to say that that is completely Marvel's fault. I mean, maybe if the last few projects that Marvel decided to put out were absolute bangers back to back, then Daredevil wouldn't be so dunked on by fans. So I'm gonna tell you, I liked this show. To me, the show had similar vibes of the original Netflix series. It maintained a level of suspense, keeping me wanting to know week by week what was going to happen. Different characters that we get throughout this series I felt were very compelling, very interesting. White Tiger I thought was absolutely amazing. RIP to Camar de los Reyes, who gave an amazing performance. That court episode, I was absolutely glued to my seat, stuck to that screen, because I honestly did not know which way that court case was gonna go. I love the fact that he was Puerto Rican, my folks right there, and overall his acting ability was just phenomenal, absolutely top tier, and it was so sad to see that he got taken out so early. But with the passing of the actor, I kind of have to let that one go. I understand, and I do look forward to seeing his niece take over that mantle in whatever future project hopefully she ends up being a part of. The performance of Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Matt Murdock and Kingpin again was phenomenal, especially when those two were on screen together. The chemistry between them is so visible and it's so captivating when they are in conversation. It damn near feels like a fight scene in itself. Frank Castle being a part of this show was also great to see. John Bernthal again plays a phenomenal Punisher, so anytime we get a bit of Frank Castle in any of the projects is just a treat for all of us. And if I'm being honest with you, even some of the new cast I really enjoyed. Officer Cherry, even though he's not an officer, he's retired, I thought was really cool. He's not Foggy cool, but he was this little bit of voice of reason for Matt, and I thought that he played a significant role in Matt's psyche and what he was going through. The new love interest that Matt has, I thought she was cool too. At least at first. Kinda ended up being a dumbass, but hey, and isn't she supposed to be a therapist digging into people's minds? Like, how did she not realize that Wilson was... Okay, and I say all this to say because while I enjoyed the show, as it went on, I began to enjoy it less and less. I feel like there's a lot of reasons to have issues with this show. One being, it took forever for Matt Murdock to get back into the damn suit. Secondly, there was hardly any action throughout this entire 8-9 episodes, and when there was action, it was so short-lived. Muse, absolutely a wasted villain in this show. They could have made him so much cooler, they could have utilized him so much more, and he just ended up being kind of a nothing berry and just taken out faster than White Tiger was, which is so weird because I feel like in the marketing he was propped up to be like the main villain next to Wilson Fisk, and from what we got of him, it was just lackluster and very underwhelming. Even though it's not his show, I feel like Frank Castle was completely underused. Hopefully with the Punisher's new special feature presentation that they're going to be doing, hopefully they use him a lot more. Obviously you would think so, because he was little to nothing in this show whatsoever, and then to use him as kind of the caveat to spark season 2, I wasn't really buying it. I also don't really like what they did with the OG characters, because they took out Foggy, which was heartbreaking and kind of dumb. It was bold, and I will commend them on making a bold decision like that, but there was no need to do that. And also they made Karen such an unlikable character, in my opinion. She wasn't my favorite character in the Netflix series, but man, she got on my damn nerves in this series. And overall, I think the big umbrella is that there was not enough Daredevil stuff in this Daredevil show, and that is a complete waste, a complete shame. These last 2 episodes, the finale and the one before, I feel were just so underwhelming, did not do it for me at all, and they weren't even able to deliver a good landing for the finale. Now, even though there was very brutal action, there wasn't enough. The show overall took a major step back in terms of quality compared to the Netflix series, making a lot of people, including myself, question whether or not this overhaul was really an overhaul, or if they just took out bits and pieces and just reworked a few things. And this absolutely sucks, because after mid-project after mid-project after mid-project, this was a show that was hyped up to be Marvel's homecoming, Marvel being back getting their crap together, understanding what they need to do, and making the execution. And it wasn't that. It wasn't. And even though I was mostly positive on this show, honestly, up until maybe the last 3 episodes, there were a lot of people online who did not feel that way, who thought that from the jump this show was kind of boo-boo. And whether or not you feel that they are right or wrong, there's enough of them to make you point the finger at Marvel. You should have did better. And people are getting tired of this mid quality content that Marvel continues to put out. So I don't blame them, and you can't be mad at the fans for expecting better and being upset when you don't deliver on the promises and expectations that you set for yourself. Season 2 of Daredevil looks to be pretty cool. We got the double D's. Seems like we're going to be getting a lot more Daredevil shit, which is a positive thing when you're watching a Daredevil show. But all in all, we're just going to have to see. We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to see. And we're gonna have to see if fans are going to even be willing to check that out in the first place. Thunderbolts is projected to do horribly in the box office. I don't know what Fantastic Four is looking like, or if we can even expect that to be a positive outcome. It's just Marvel is in a bad way right now, you know, and doing stuff like this is not going to help their case at all. At best, I feel like I have to give this show maybe a 6 out of 10, which is a shame. I was very hyped up for this show. Those last 2 episodes, last 3, but really the last 2 episodes really left a bad taste in my mouth for the series overall, which is a shame because I love these characters. I love these actors in these roles. I feel like Vincent D'Onofrio does an amazing job as Kingpin. Matt Murdock is an amazing Daredevil. There should be no reason why a show like this flops, but nonetheless it did. And hopefully Marvel gets their heads out their rear ends and make some desperately needed changes. But that is where I'm gonna leave it today, man. If you stayed until the end of this video, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, get this out to more people. Does the channel a big favor, and I appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future content. You stay updated with what's going on. Make sure you let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about the show. If you were a fan, if you weren't, I'm not gonna be mad at you either way. You're entitled to your opinion, but let me know why. All that being said, man, I am out of here. Y'all be smooth and stay geeked up.